Hey, what's up guys, welcome to my channel. This is zahranalhosni Fitness. So as I said in my last video, this video is going to be about how many reps should you do. Also really quickly before I get started, me and my friend Motive, you guys have seen him in my videos before. We're going to be starting an 8-week Calisthenics Bootcamp course. So if any of you guys are interested, you guys are in the area, get in touch with either of us and we give you some more details about it. But onto the video. How many reps you should do mainly depends on two things. That is what your goal is, what you're looking to achieve, and what the type of exercise and the nature of exercise that you're doing, which is obviously directly related to the first one. So with that being said, let's get into it.
This is not a vacation. This is work.
Okay, to make it simple, we'll just assume that you don't have any injuries or anything like that, and because obviously that will affect how many reps you will do. And we'll also just start off with weightlifting, and then towards the end I'll talk about how many reps you should do if you're training calisthenics. So first, before we get started, it's important to familiarize yourself with the 3 main muscular adaptations that you will develop from training muscular fitness. So these 3 adaptations are strength, hypertrophy, and endurance. So strength kind of speaks for itself. Its name speaks for itself. Is just basically you're training to increase how much you can lift. So a lot of times you're trying to reach new high numbers. Hypertrophy is trying to increase your size, trying to put on more muscle mass, more lean muscle mass. And endurance is just kind of like how long you're able to last for, how many reps you can do. It's basically like 12 reps and above. A lot of times you can develop your endurance doing cardio, but I know a lot of people like to train endurance while weightlifting as well. But yeah, that's basically what it is. It's going through that higher rep range. And I'll talk a little bit about each one. If your goal is strength, you want to get stronger, then usually it's like 1 to 5 reps. Because any more than that, it will mean that it's too light. You're constantly, it's really intense stuff, and it's really stuff that has a high energy output and is physically demanding. And you're really working those type 2 fast twitch muscle fibers. Obviously, if you're the heavier you go, the more rest you're going to need to recover in between, because this doesn't just have a toll on your muscles, it also has a toll on your central nervous system. So I'd say like 3 to 5 minutes rest in between if you're doing a heavy set like that you're only doing 1 to 5 reps. So that's if you're going for strength. Secondly, hypertrophy, usually it's around 6 to 12 reps. So you're still lifting quite heavy, but because you're doing more reps, there's a bit more time and attention. So your muscles are being worked for a slightly longer period of time. Whereas in the first one you're only doing 5 reps, but this one you're 6 to 12 reps. And because of that, you will likely build more muscle because your muscles are being exhausted more, so they're having to rebuild stronger, and subsequently you will get bigger. So hypertrophy, 6 to 12 reps. And finally, endurance, like I said earlier, usually it's like 12 reps and above. And yeah, you're just trying to really kind of maximize how long you can go on for, really how many reps you can do. So yeah, that's the first point. What a lot of times when you train one of them, you'll develop the other 2 as well, mainly hypertrophy because that's dead in the middle, 6 to 12. Some people say 6 to 8. So but obviously, like I said, if whichever one you do decide to focus on, that will be your strongest point. And if you're a person that is going into the gym and going into training that you don't really have a specific goal, and you're just doing it to generally keep fit, then you can basically just do like a cycle. You can basically you can do things like ascending pyramids, which means you get heavier each time, so you work in all 3. You're working endurance, hypertrophy, and strength. Or you can just periodize it, so this week you'll be training strength and this week you'll be training hypertrophy and so on and so forth. But you know, if you know that you want to focus on getting bigger or getting stronger, then you want to spend as much time as you can on that. Obviously with something like, but mainly those two, there's going to be times where you're going to have to rest and take a deload week, and that just comes down to like listening to your own body mainly, or doing it. Usually it's like once every 6 weeks, just having a deload week and taking it easy. Okay, so that's the first one, what your goal is. The second one is that was the first point. The second point is the type of exercise that you're doing. So I was in the gym the other day, and a woman asked me to show her how to do tricep extensions, right? And I showed her how to do it, and I told her, go on, give it a go. And I put it on a low weight, and she started doing it, and she's like, this is too easy. Well, she started doing it, I corrected the form, and then she said, this is too easy. And then I said, okay, give me 12 of those. And then she got to like 2 or 3, and then all of a sudden she couldn't carry on. You know, her form started to go completely. And basically what it is with something like an isolation exercise like tricep extensions or straight arm pull downs, or you know, bicep curls, something like that, you want to use a lighter weight, and you want to get a slightly higher number of reps, because you're only relying on 1 or 2 muscles to do the exercise. And a lot of times when you do that, you'll find that you'll start to lose form a little bit, because that muscle is already starting to get exhausted, so it'll start relying on other areas. That's why, you know, you'll see people, their shoulders start to come forward, or if they're doing bicep curls, they start swinging their lower back as well to get it up. And you know, a lot of these exercises are, like I said, isolation. They're more designed on the aesthetic look that you gain from it, and that's something that you will, like I said earlier, develop from increased time and attention and stuff like that. So you want to be using the lighter weights to be able to get more reps. On the other hand, something like a compound exercises, like for example deadlift or squats, you know, that are using multiple muscles, you can go heavy on those, and those are specifically designed a lot of times for people to go heavy on them. A lot of powerlifting competitions are mainly, you know, they're just these compound exercises, right? And it's because you're using multiple muscles and they're all working together to you know, essentially get the weight up. I mean, a lot of times you'll see, you know, these powerlifters, and they have a really thick waist, and that's just because it's developed that way, because it needs to protect the, you know, the lower back, you know, the bottom of the spine, because things like squats and deadlifts, you know, that's taken a lot of toll on that area. So there's a lot, they end up getting a lot of you know, essentially, I hate to say it, but fat and muscle around their waist, and then yeah, that's just how they look. So yeah, I hope that covers weightlifting. And of course, if you're training for calisthenics, you know, we do things like weighted dips as well, so that'd be similar. It can be like 1 to 5 reps for that, and it depends on the exercises you do, because there's a lot of different variations. Like there's things like archer push-ups, and there's things like really deep push-ups, you know, planche push-ups, and it really does depend on the exercise you're doing. But I would say, like with a lot of the basic exercises, like things like push-ups and pull-ups, you want to be training for endurance with that, because the more reps you can do on those, that's going to help you with a lot of the complicated stuff that you do later on, because once again, you're getting more comfortable with carrying your own body, and you will develop a really good strength to size ratio. Okay guys, I hope that covered it. Any other questions, you guys just let me know, hit me up. Yeah, and until the next time, I'll see you guys.